All right, we are live. What's up, my writing weirdos? Welcome to my Friday writing sprint, write-in stream, whatever you want to call it. Today, I am very, very lucky to have Ms. Savvy Lizer, who of Savvy Writes Books, who has some very special news for everybody today. So, Savvy, go right ahead.
Hi. Well, first of all, BC, thank you so much for having me on your stream today. This is awesome. This is coming just an hour and a half after you were on my stream earlier, so this is pretty great. So, hey everyone. So today, some of you might know, today is the release date for my newest novel. I just launched a book today. We are just coming here from the book launch party live stream. We had a lot of fun over there. You can watch the replay of it on my channel if you want. We did like trivia and we did Q&A and a raffle and had some prizes. It was a lot of fun. And BC was co-hosting. And so then she was like, well, I'm going to host a stream afterwards. Do you want to come on my stream too? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So it's book launch day. This is super exciting. And I'm really happy to be here. And happy Friday, everyone, also. This is a really fun Friday.
Yes, this is a very fun Friday, and we are also doing something for the first time that I haven't done before. While we are broadcasting on YouTube, we are simultaneously broadcasting on Facebook Live. So trying this out today, if I seem like I'm a little distracted, it's because I'm trying to bounce back and forth between Facebook Live comments and YouTube comments at the same time.
Oh, I see it on Facebook. I just switched over to the Facebook tab. I can see us there. Cool.
Yay, I'm so cool. That's so cool. All right, so I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and what we're going to do for those who are here and don't know what I do every Friday is I host a write-in session where basically we take 15 or 20-minute sprints where we set that time aside and we just get down to being productive in our writing. Some people write, some people do art, some people decide to clean the house, some people just go through the necessary motions of feeding themselves or feeding their kids, whatever it takes. But the whole point is to kind of get together as a writing community and to get together as a creating community and make sure that we're scheduling time to get things done, no matter what those things are. So it's nice today that I can share it with Savvy and share it with her book release, which has been so much fun so far. We had trivia earlier, and while I did not win, I did guess pretty appropriately for some of it, so that was a lot of fun.
You got a lot of them right, I've got to
say. Yeah, so I am anxiously going to read. I'm going to start on reading this very soon. I still have to finish Caro's book, which I am almost at the end of now, which was the last one that I bought from my AuthorTube community. And then I have to start on the rest of my TBR stack, which are a few other AuthorTube people's books as well. So let's go ahead and chat with the folks that are here. Hi, Destiny. Good to see you. You got here super early, and I am so happy. I know that you're just adding some songs to your playlist for your new project. Playlists are amazing. I'm not a writer that particularly uses playlists when I write, but that's because of my hearing issues, and I don't like to have the distraction. But I very much do create playlists for the book separately. Like, I'll sit here and think about songs that could be used in like association with my book. And then when I'm not writing, I will listen to those songs, usually in the car or something like that. So we have Ms. AlleyCat107 here. Good to see you, AlleyCat. And Shannon Caper, author, is here. Happy Friday to you too. Barbara Howard, always good to see you, Barbara. Looks like we have some congratulations for Miss Savvy.
Thank you guys so much. It's been such a fun day. Honestly, this has been, even though it was my first virtual book launch, I've got to say it's been one of my favorite ones of all time. It was a lot of fun. I think the only one I can think of that compares to it is the one where I launched Kringle's Christmas, the Fourth Forever Home Friends book, because we had a happy holidays party and did an animal shelter fundraiser with it. So that was cool. But this one was super cool too, because it was something totally different. And I feel like I got to celebrate with so many friends that I wouldn't normally get to see in person. So for everyone who was there, thank you so much. And even if you weren't, I'm happy to see you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad. I can say that of all the I've seen several virtual book releases. Most of them, I found them to be kind of, I don't know, kind of dry, but maybe that's because maybe yours was so much better just because of your effortless personality. Maybe it was because of all of us that you brought together to be your co-hosts. It might have just been because of the AuthorTube community in general on the chat. I'm not sure, but it seemed like there was no lull. There was nothing awkward to it. Nothing that felt staged.
I stopped for a minute to go get cake because I had a cake in the fridge, and I was like, I want to eat cake and celebrate, but I want to mute my mic for a minute. I don't want people to get bored. Yeah, but nobody did because you guys were all there as awesome co-hosts, and you guys all kept everyone interested. I had such a great time.
We just chatted while you got up and got cake. We were like, oh, she's got to grab cake. We all wish we had cake. We all should have grabbed like some little cupcakes or something so that we could have eaten cake with you. But, other than that, that was, and even that, like you said, wasn't awkward at all. It was a lot of fun because we just kind of chatted a bit while we were doing it. So it looks like we have Dick Moonstruck here. Good to see you. Happy Friday. And Carrie H. Author, hello to you. Also, some congrats to Savvy.
Thank you.
And look, here we have a wild doll that has shown up in the comments. Good to see you, doll. Of course, we just saw you a little earlier, but still good to see you again. So whole bunch going on today. And of course, StreamYard not going as quickly as Facebook or YouTube is. So that I can see that and it's driving me nuts. All right. Naked Firefly, good to see you. And Doll said she did go for cookies while you went for cake. So
that's fantastic. I love it.
She got to have some sweets. I didn't have any sweets to have. I could have gone and grabbed some strawberries or some pineapple or something, but I thought, nah, I'd have to turn my camera off anyway because I wouldn't want people watching me eat. So never mind. I'll sit here and imagine cake, and then I'll let myself have cake later.
I was craving cake for a week before this launch, so I was like, I need cake on my launch day.
And it looked so good. You had the cookies and cream pie, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling pretty jealous right now. I definitely want some of that cake. So, all right. So
we still have half of it left in the fridge, so that's good. I have more cake for later.
That's good. You could spread your cake consumption out just a little bit. Yeah. Hey, Ava, it's good to see you again.
Go visit each other, so I don't have to share the cake.
True. That is so true. So, I had a lot of fun at the virtual release party today. I thought it was a blast just getting to interact with everybody and talk to everybody. And it seemed to go pretty well as far as everybody being happy about the raffle and the trivia. So I think my favorite, I've had several book release parties now as well. And my favorite one was for my last book, Karaoke Jane. And that's because I decided to actually host a karaoke book release party.
I was about to ask, did you have a karaoke launch party? That was fantastic. I love it.
I did. So initially it was just going to be me at a karaoke event that my friend was going to DJ. But that ended up falling through because the venue, they had an issue with me bringing in outside. It was because it's also a food establishment, wasn't just a bar. So they didn't want me bringing in all these books and a banner and all of this stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, okay, no big deal. But a friend of mine, she actually is a bartender or was a bartender at the time at this little dive bar. It's just this hole in the wall dive bar that we absolutely love to go to. And she's like, well, we usually do karaoke on Mondays and I usually host it. But if you just want to host it, that would help me out. So I ended up actually hosting the whole karaoke event. We had a wheel that people could spin and it would force me to sing whatever came up on the wheel. Or they could spin it and they could win a free book. And we took pictures and we Facebook Lived some of it. And it was a lot of fun. I made it a point to sing the songs that are alluded to in my book. They're not actually, only one song is actually mentioned by name. The rest of them are all just kind of alluded to. So I made it a point to actually sing those so that people would know what the book, what the songs were.
Fantastic. I love that.
So it was a lot of fun. And me and karaoke kind of go hand in hand. So
karaoke is so fun. I love it. I haven't done it in so long, so I'll have to come to AuthorTube karaoke in June.
Yeah, yeah. Up until, up until recently when we started having to stay in and everything, I pretty much went to karaoke once, if not twice a week.
That's so fun.
So I just really love it. And on my website, I review karaoke places so
Oh, cool.
that people
I'm a
can.
terrible singer, but I love doing karaoke because
Oh,
I get really loud and extra obnoxious when I sing just because I know I'm not good at it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna try to like do a quality performance. I'm just gonna be as loud as I want to. So
yeah.
that's
I
what I
don't
always
blame you.
end up doing.
I'm definitely not the best singer since I can't hear that well. I don't sing that badly, but I can't hear that well. So sometimes I'm off key or really pitchy or flat or whatever.
My singing's terrible. Like it's bad.
That's okay though.
Which is weird because like I play instruments, but I can't sing for I don't know why. I just don't have good vocal control whatsoever. So I'm always off key. I always sing the wrong notes. It sounds bad, but I'm very loud, so you can always hear it.
So you can always hear, and I'm sure you're entertaining. So, and that really is most of what karaoke is about, is
Yeah.
picking a good song and being entertaining while you're singing it.
Yeah.
Even if you have a horrible voice, if you've got that 2 out of 3 combo, then you are usually doing okay. The later on in the night it gets, the better it is because everybody is too drunk to really notice that you're not singing that well because they're singing just as badly along with everybody else. So, all right. So I think we'll go ahead and get down to our first writing sprint. I'm going to check my YouTube, or not my YouTube, but my Facebook comments real quick to see if I missed anything over there. I don't think I have, but because this is really new for everybody. So do we want to do a 15 or a 20-minute writing sprint?
Whatever seems best. I'm not going to be writing. I am going to be taking photos of my plushies because my
Ooh.
plushies need another photo shoot. So I'm going to be doing a plushie photo shoot. I don't know if it'll be visible from the webcam. So I might just disappear during the sprint because I'm off doing plushie photos, but then I'll come back.
That makes sense entirely. So let's see about doing maybe 15 minutes. I
Okay.
usually do 20, but let's do 15 minutes this time. Here we go. I think rainbows are definitely a good thing for a timer today for you and your release.
Yes, very happy and fun.
Yeah, very happy, very fun, just full of sparkles and magic.
I love it.
So I think that will be perfect. Let's back this up and share my screen. And Doll is oh so happy that you're going to be taking pictures of your plushies.
Yay! If you guys want to see plushie pictures, follow Forever Home Friends on Instagram. That's where they all go.
Yep, that's where they go. Hey, Devin, good to see you. You're just in time for our first sprint. And Alley Cat was saying that they feel like playing instruments is easier than actually singing too, at least for them, especially since they play instruments as well.
For me, yeah, I agree. I have an easier time with instruments. I think because like I don't have good like a good natural ability to like natural pitch I don't really have.
Yeah.
So like if I, can tune the instrument ahead of time, then if I know how to play it, I can. But since I don't have the pitch in my head when I'm singing it, it's just whatever random sound comes out of my mouth.
See, that's one thing that I do have since what I sing is only stuff that I can remember right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's I automatically have what it sounded like in my head. Now trying to change it up or make it different is not something I can't adapt it anymore like I used to be able to. And I mean, obviously it naturally adapts a little bit based on my voice, my style, but whatever. But yeah, so that natural pitch is in my head. It's just sometimes since I can't adjust it on the fly, I can't get it to come out quite right. But
Yeah.
usually I have really good friends at karaoke and stuff like that will be like, you were a little pitchy, you were a little flat, just to let you know for next time. I'd be like, okay, great. I'll keep that in mind. So, all right. And right before we get started, Allie, Unicorn Fan, has popped in here. Good to see you. Glad you could make it today. All right. So we'll get started for a 15-minute sprint, and we'll go from there. All right.
Awesome. See y'all in 15 minutes.
See y'all in 15. And 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right.
Yay!
That is the end of our first sprint for 15 minutes. So let me know how everybody did in the comments. For those of you just tuning in, we are doing live writing sprints today and celebrating Ms. Savvy's book coming out.
Yay!
So Savvy, I know you weren't writing during the sprint. You said you were taking pictures of your plushies.
Yes.
So whoa, hold on. Don't know what's going on there.
What happened?
I don't know. Somehow
everything looks normal to me. Did something weird happen?
Yeah, something went funky with my screen. So
okay.
That's okay. Sorry. I was just like, whoa, what just happened with my whole computer?
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, it like poltergeist on me, and I was like, holy crap, what's going on with my whole computer? But good. As long as you guys didn't notice anything, then all is good. So I mean, it's kind of hard for you to tell us how much did you get done during the writing sprint.
I didn't take on a specific word count, but I took a bunch of plushie photos. I got a few of I did a setup where it's looks like Wrigley's about to drop a new mixtape and she's on the keyboard and Chewie's got headphones on listening to it. I did one where the doll for Daisy is petting Chewie on the head, so it's like, oh, grandma loves Chewie kind of thing. And then I have a few pictures of I got the doll that I made of myself, which I made 2 years ago. So that video is on my channel. It's me when I had really long hair. So I don't look the same as I do now in that doll. But I had that doll take a picture with a bunch of the plushies. And then I had a couple of them have coffee together. I had them put on some silly hats and hang out together. So I took a bunch of photos. I might take some more on the next sprint. I got to think of some more ideas. My house is kind of like a cave, so there are very few places where I get good natural light. So I kind of am keeping them all in one place. So unless I want to go outside, which I might go outside during the next sprint as long as I keep a good eye on the clock.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean by that. So houses in Arizona are set up so that our windows naturally face north and south rather than east and west because of the heat. So there aren't a lot of places. If you have a front porch and you have a back porch, there aren't a whole lot of places that get actual decent natural light. So I know what you're talking about because I've tried for the longest time on my videos and even here live streaming just using natural light, but there's not enough of it. And the overhead lights, are really, really harsh. So I had to get some, light boxes and some light stands so that I could actually be lit up.
Yeah.
And so I know what you're talking about there. So we had
I've got one spot kind of in my living room that gets good natural light. So I'm taking some photos of them there. And then if I go out, because I live in a apartment complex, so I don't really have a front or back porch or a yard or anything, but we do have front steps leading up to the front door of our building. So since no one's going outside nowadays anyway, I can usually just go out on the front porch by myself, and there's some flowers planted out front so I can get some pictures of the plushies and the flowers and that kind of thing, which is cute.
Yeah.
It's a nice day out today here, which is nice because it's been one day it's 78 degrees and sunny. Then the next day it's 30 degrees and snowing. And then last night we had an insane thunderstorm that made Chewie go hide in the basement for a while. And now it's nice and sunny and warm out. So I'll probably go out there and take some pictures.
Yeah, I'm appreciating the fact that you guys are having nice weather right now because we're also having nice weather for some reason. It spiked up really hot for us for a little while. And by really hot, I mean not really hot for Arizona, but by everybody else's standards, it was 102, 103 at the beginning of May. And for a lot of people's standards, that's very hot. Not so much for us, but it's still hot. And so it's dropped back down though, since you guys got your thunderstorm. We're getting all the cool air and everything from it. So I'm appreciative of that because it meant that it's only mid 90s now. And we're all like, yay!
In Chicago, the definition of cold is different here. if it's like 40 degrees, it's like, oh, it's beautiful. At least that's how I see it. Here, if it's like, when it's cold, like it gets -20 or so. And then if you factor the crazy wind on top of it, it really feels like it's way lower than that. So it's a ton. Yeah.
Yeah, the definition of cold in Arizona, however, is if it's 70 degrees, it's cold.
Really? What? It's 70 degrees here today. It's like 68 degrees, and it's like I put on a tank top because I couldn't handle wearing my sweatshirt anymore.
So at 60 degrees,
my one final vinyl sweatshirt with the picture of the Polaroid of the record on it. I was like, nah.
Yeah, at 60 degrees here, people start putting on sweatshirts and coats and things like that. If it gets down to like 50 degrees, we start thinking that, you know, we're going to get like freezing weather, and like 40 degrees, everybody's just like, this is way too cold. I mean, it gets that cold at night because in the desert, when it gets cold in the desert, there's no ambient like thermal. There's no humidity to trap in any kind of warmth. So whatever is baked into the ground is the only warmth that you get. And that usually goes away by like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. And so then it gets really cold in the desert at night. Not during the summer, of course, because it just stays baked constantly. But yeah, so here, yeah, 65, 60 degrees is considered like get your parka and your gloves and your hat. And
there used to be this joke where there would be like a chart. This joke doesn't really work anymore, but there used to be this chart that was like how cold is judged in Chicago. And it would be like, it starts at like 30 and it's like still warm, and it goes down and down and down. And then it'll be like negative 10 degrees. Everybody puts on their winter coat. Everybody gets mad that their cars are freezing. They'll go below that. It'll be like -20 degrees. You know, people finally start to put their hats on and stuff. It really gets to like -1,000 degrees, and it's like hell freezes over. The Cubs finally win the World Series.
Yeah, that one doesn't work so much anymore.
But now they have won the World Series, which is great.
Which is wonderful. Wonderful for us Cubs fans.
That night.
Oh my God. So my dad still lives in Illinois, not in Chicago. He lives down in Southern Illinois. But like he and I that night back and forth, it was just crazy. We were just like, they're gonna win, they're gonna win.
That night was nuts because it was like I was trying to find, like I was with some friends and we were trying to find places to watch it, but every bar in the entire city of Chicago was jam-packed. And like the closer, and I live walking distance from Wrigley Field. So it's like the bars in my area, a lot of them were like charging money to get in just to watch it on the TV. And a lot of places everywhere was standing room only. So my friends and I were able to hop from a couple bars to another. And then I had to go home because, of course, it was so loud and the fireworks and everyone was going crazy. And Chewy was having a panic attack because of that. So I had to go home and like calm him down and be like, it's okay, buddy. It's a good thing. And he's just like, the sky is booming. The world is ending.
Yeah, admittedly, all the bars were packed here too. Everybody wanted to see it. I mean, it didn't matter if they were a Cubs fan or not. Everybody wanted to see it.
It was a fascinating night. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was really a good night. So we had a couple of people pop in during the sprint. Yay. Key is here. Always good to see you. Carrie was telling us that they had an exterminator. They have an exterminator come out once a month to do preventative treatment because they live next to the woods, and his mask scared their daughter. I guess she was playing in the office and he poked his head in to say hi and she got all scared. So sad. Naked Firefly doing me a favor, asking people to hit the like button.
Yes, I appreciate that. Everybody don't forget to hit the like button.
And Ms. Bonnie got here for some writing motivation. Glad that you could join us. A little congratulations from Bonnie as well.
Thank you.
All right, we had a few people that managed to get some stuff done. Alley Cat got 427 words on the short story. Nice, very nice. Zoe got 336 words and a congratulations.
Thank you, Zoe.
Devin calling out my gremlins. So it was not a problem. It just startled me at first because I was like, I don't know what's going on. Is it going to crash? Is all of YouTube burning down again today?
YouTube is a strange animal sometimes, but I'm grateful for it overall. It's been I'm so glad I met all of you guys through YouTube.
Oh, me too. Me too. So I I weirdly did not know about the AuthorTube community a lot. I knew about a few key players like Jenna Moresi, and I knew about Kate Kavanaugh, and I knew about a few of like the really bigger named channels.
Mm-hmm.
And because up until I decided to start doing YouTube and doing videos for YouTube, I wasn't on YouTube that much. I would go to it occasionally when I was specifically looking for something, but I wouldn't, like, YouTube wasn't my go-to for entertainment or even educational stuff. It was kind of like if I can't Google it, I'll YouTube it.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. But then I don't know what happened at like the end of kind of like around late in fall, I started YouTubing things more. And that was when the idea came to me, and my partner was all supportive about it, of me being on YouTube and just having my writing videos and talking about what it is that I know how to do, which is writing and branding. And so I came into the YouTube community, or came into the AuthorTube community, because Dana Gollin of Dana Gollin Writes, she had, I love Dana.
Great.
She had subscribed to my channel, and she was like, one of my like first 20 subscribers or something. And I thought, oh, another fellow writer. How cool is that? And so I went and subscribed to her, and then saw that she did the streams every Monday. And I was like, this is a thing? I was like,
that was the point too. Okay, so I had made a channel. I only count myself as having really started YouTube in late 2018, even though I made my channel in mid 2017.
Because I made my channel a long time ago, long time ago.
I would watch like Jenna Moresi, I'd watch some of them, and I watched YouTube all the time, but I mostly watch like film criticism channels and those type of things. And then I didn't know this was a thing. I figured like, oh, Jenna puts up videos about writing tips. I can just throw up some writing tips videos too. So I would do things like that. But I had like a couple subscribers, and they were mostly like my friends from real life. And then I put up my video, having huge boobs sucks. And I got 40 subscribers after that video, because that one blew up. But still, I only had 40 subscribers. And then my friend RK Gold, who was on the live stream before, on my previous stream, he would message me on Twitter, and he was like, why haven't you done the newbie tag yet? And I was like, what? What is that?
And like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
He's like, it's to introduce yourself to the community. And I was like, I didn't even know there was a community. What? So I filmed that, and suddenly I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of people doing this. And then I started making friends, and I was like, I'm going to put up like 3 to 5 videos a week now, because like I finally feel like I'm getting to know people from this. Like it's finally accomplishing its goal. It's not me just putting out videos into the void and nothing happening.
Yeah, no, that's exactly kind of what happened with me. I was putting out 1 video a week for a little while, because I didn't want to do too much at once. And then I started doing the streams, and I got lucky just like a few weeks in. Nobody had said anything about doing the newbie tag.
Right. And the reason he told me that was because I found his channel, because we were writer Twitter friends. So I found his channel, and I was like, dude, how do you have 200 subscribers? That's amazing. All I could get was 40, and that's because I talked about my boobs on camera. Like, how did you get 200 from talking about books and writing? What? And he was like, you got to do the newbie tag. That's how people can search for you. You got to use the word AuthorTube in your videos. And I was like, what is AuthorTube?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that totally is kind of what had happened. I knew about BookTube,
but I didn't know about BookTube either. He told me about both those things, so I made a tag for both.
Yeah, he told me about BookTube, but I didn't know anything about AuthorTube at all. And then I got about 3 weeks into just being in the chat on the streams, and Heather Dewey Patet, who was streaming originally on Mondays after Dana, she was going to give up her Monday slot because she had too much just going on in life with the whole kid being home suddenly, and having to do the mom thing. And so I was like, I could do streams. I could really do streams. That would be fine. So I was like, I'll take over your spot. So I ended up taking over her spot. And then I was just like, And then all of a sudden I started getting lots of subscribers and stuff. Now, the only reason I switched to Friday is because I noticed on Monday, I was overlapping with Word Stitch's stream, and I didn't want to divide people up. I didn't want to like take away from them. So I found a spot on Caro's spreadsheet, on Carol Brown's spreadsheet, that didn't have somebody in it already. And I was like, well, Friday it is, I guess. So, but I started
the live stream writing sprints when Lisa Daly messaged me during NaNoWriMo and was like, I want to host a NaNoWriMo writing sprint. Do you want to do it with me? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. And then I'm like, dude, live streaming is so much fun. I love this.
This is what defines an extrovert from an introvert, right there with what you just said. You are such an extrovert because you were like, I don't know what it is, but I'm game for doing it.
Yeah, that's basically me. I mean, I'm willing to try everything. That's the kind of person I am. Is like, this is like when I tell the story of like my first ever indie book release. Like, you hear the stories of like, you want your debut novel to have a great release, you want to do all these things right, and it's like, dude, I didn't even know that there was an indie book community when I put out my first book. I was finishing up college and I had written a screenplay and I was like, I want to try writing it as a novel. So I did. And then I was like, I want to put this out there. How can I do that? And then I found print on demand and I was like, that sounds fun. So I uploaded it and I did it. And then from there, I suddenly was like, oh, wow, there's a whole indie books world. And then I just dove like headfirst into that and was like, I'm going to devote my life to this.
So I did something kind of similar. So my first publishing experience was actually really crappy. So my first book I published it, and I use that term very loosely, through a scam or a vanity publisher.
Oh, yeah.
They had reached out to me. I got super excited. I didn't do my research, yada, yada. I've talked about it in a lot of videos. I'm not ashamed to say I was duped. I was taken in.
And that's reasonable. That happens, dude. That's the whole reason. Like, I have a whole section of my channel. Half my channel is devoting to exposing scammers because it's like they go after people. They go after creative people and small business owners and self-starters because it's hard to break into what we do. So it's so easy for a scammer to take advantage of that situation.
Yeah. And when I went to publish, or when I wanted to publish, was quite a long time ago. It was 13 years ago. So that was 2007 was when my first book came out. So I was
I was in high school then.
So I was looking in like 2005 for starting to publish my book, is when I was looking. And at the time, self-publishing was really stigmatized. So they're really, you weren't proud of being an indie author at that point. And so I fell prey to the vanity of not wanting to be a self-published author, wanting to be through a traditional, house, and all of that crap that I have since way gotten over.
Yeah. And what I think needs to be lifted up more, I guess, is like, so there's self-publishing in many forms, but then there's self-publishing that is like not even print on demand. It's like, zine, production, like people printing off their own things, binding the books themselves, like totally, like, I love that stuff. I feel like, I guess it's harder to do an online community for that, but like, dude, it's so great to see, like, and I hate, like, as much as I like to say, small businesses above big businesses, the truth is, like, Amazon really did change the game and make it easier for authors to be in there. So really did. I'm never going to hate on Amazon. I'm always going to make my books available on Amazon. I'll always prefer if you order it from my website, but, I like the fact that I'm ranked on Amazon right now. That's pretty cool because it is a huge site.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I'm so proud that you are ranked so high on Amazon on your debut day. It is so cool.
I'm still at 3, I checked, but on new releases, I'm 3. On overall, I'm 36. In the specific category of young adult books about music, not in all of Amazon, unfortunately. That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, but no, it's still an achievement. So
yeah,
I'd be, But yeah, Alley Cat was just saying that AuthorTube is amazing. I didn't realize how awesome it was until last year.
Same.
It's the same. I didn't realize how awesome it was until this year. I didn't know it was a thing until literally I started recording my own videos for, you know, writing advice and publishing advice and marketing advice. And then I started finding people that were doing the same thing when I started researching tags for my SEO. And I was like, oh, people are doing the same thing. And oh, there's already this community doing these live streams. And you know, so it was a lot of fun. Speaking of another live stream, apparently, Carrie H. Author is at 8 Eastern time, also doing a live stream tonight. So they're getting ready to feed and go to bed for the tiny humans so that they can.
I love that.
It is a much better term than I have. Well, okay, I have 2 terms for like tiny humans, and they are parasites, which is usually the term that most parents hate. But we also have furless puppies.
Furless puppies, that's cute too. I've told, like, because I don't have any kids, but I like to teach kids. I think kids are cute, and I like teaching them writing and stuff. I've compared my students to puppies before. They've been like, Savvy, you put up with all our craziness. And I'm like, I have a pit bull puppy at home. Nowadays, Chewy's not a puppy anymore. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I don't have a puppy anymore either, but we do have the 2 new kittens. I would bring them out and I would put them on.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I'd put them on camera, but they're not quite acclimated to the dogs yet. So they get a little frightened whenever they're out here in the big space with the big dogs. So we're waiting for them to kind of acclimate just a little bit. Otherwise, I would totally shamelessly bring them out here and get the cute factor on camera.
Yeah, I don't know where Chewy went. He was a little nuisance earlier, and now he's off being good probably somewhere. What I like about Chewy is that even though he can be obnoxious, when he's off by himself, I can trust that he's not doing anything bad. Like, he goes off, and he's always been that way, like, since I first adopted him. We never really had to put him in a crate or anything. Like, even if we'd leave and just leave him in the house, if he's not playing with you, he'll just go take a nap or just go lay in the sunlight or something. And then if you want to play, then his energy comes back. But he's not going to go off and destroy anything, which is good. He's always been very trustworthy to just leave him.
Yeah, my dog, she's really good. My shepherd, she's really good. I can just leave her, and unless there's food down, of course. And then
he wants to eat all the food, but we just don't. I mean, actually, we have a few times left tortilla chip bags out on the coffee table, and he didn't eat them. And I was like, "Whoa, you're so good!" Even though he loves tortilla chips when we give them to him.
Yeah, so. we used to be able to do that. We used to be able to we could leave a whole pizza down and walk away and leave it in a room and she would never touch it. But our roommate moved in and brought his pit bull. And his pit bull, I am convinced that this is just a goat disguised as a dog.
Okay, I think pit bulls being goats is just a thing because when I walk Chewy, he eats grass. He has to stop us on the walk so that he can chew on all the grass.
And there's nothing wrong with them. They're not sick.
Grass for 10 minutes now. It's like, no, you don't. Can we go home? And he's like, nope, I'm eating grass.
Yeah. They have to eat. So they eat everything. I mean, she eats. Well, first of all, she raids the cat box, which is just disgusting. We're trying to break her of it, but it's a terrible habit. And now she's taught it to my German Shepherd, which is even worse. But yeah, I think it's just a pit bull thing. They're just goats. And they look like dogs.
Want to eat everything. We once we came back with leftover pizza and we had it in a box and we put it on the counter. We were gonna go put it in the fridge, and then I got up to go find the pizza box that I put on the counter. I was like, "Where is it?" And we're searching the whole house for this pizza box, and I was like, "Oh my god, is Chewy eating it? Where is he?" And we found him in the bedroom closet. He had quietly taken the pizza box off the counter, dragged it into the bedroom closet, and the box was sealed enough that he had still not reached the pizza yet. This was 20 minutes, and he was gnawing at the corner of the box trying to get through to the pizza. And I'm like, sorry, buddy, this isn't real.
He was ratting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like Zoe was saying that their dog is the same way. They once picked a cucumber off the vine in the garden and ate it.
Aww.
Okay, so I don't want to assume, but I'm curious, Savvy, did you name your dog Chewie because of Chewbacca from Star Wars? That would be cool if you did. If not, still a cool name.
I actually didn't name Chewy when I adopted him from the shelter. He was 2 already, so I guess he wasn't really a puppy. I say he was a puppy when he was 2 because he still acted like one. But yeah, he was already 2 years old when I adopted him, and his name was already Chewy at that point. And I know a lot of times you can change the dog's name when you adopt them, but since he was already 2, I didn't want to confuse him, and I thought Chewy was a cute name. So I didn't name him. People have assumed in the past that it was from Star Wars. I'm kind of neutral on Star Wars. I think it's fine, but I was definitely always more of a big Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan. Yeah. So I didn't. Yes, I love it. I have a Star Trek mug, but it's not. I don't have it out right now.
And I'm wearing it.
Yeah. Oh, you can see I have some Star Trek stuff behind me on the wall. So yeah, I didn't name him at all, but I think Chewy is a name that fits him also because he chews things a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did the same. We got our shepherd when she was just about 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't rescue her. We didn't adopt her from a shelter, but we did adopt her from a friend who.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was a sad event. They didn't really want to get rid of her, but he had just been downsized at his job, and they were going to lose their house, and it was a big house. And then they had not just a German Shepherd, they had 2 other big dogs, like a black lab and a golden retriever. And then they had like 3 cats, 3 kids, like a flying squirrel. They had all these. And they were going to have to go down.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, they were going to have to go down to like this really small, like 3-bedroom house versus their like 6-bedroom house that they had. So it was she was the youngest, and they thought it would be easiest for her to adapt to a new family. So we adopted her, and we didn't much care for her name, but we ended up keeping it anyway because she already knew it. She was almost 2. I just didn't want to confuse her. So she's Callie, and she's my only non-geeky named animal. I mean, I've got a black cat named Gozer from Ghostbusters, and then the 2 new kittens' names are Domino from Deadpool 2 and the comic series, of course, and Spot, which is the name of Data's cat.
Spot. I love Data's cat, Spot. Okay, yeah. I love the episode where Data writes poetry for his cat. That's like one of my favorite.
Ode to Spot. An ode to Spot. Yeah. I remember that. I loved it. Yeah. So
I've always wanted to get, if I ever do adopt a dog young enough that I'd feel right naming them, I would love to name a dog Worf, like from Next Generation.
Yes.
Because I think Worf would be such a good dog name. No offense to Klingons. I feel like making Klingons feel like they have dog names, which is nothing wrong with that. But Worf is a good dog name.
But he's Worf the wolf.
Yeah, exactly. Like Woof.
Yeah,
so when I first adopted Chewy, I made him a Facebook page, and he posted this status that was like, "You know who my favorite Star Trek character is? Worf." Just kidding, it's Data.
Oh, I can't believe, Alley Cat, that you've never seen Star Trek.
Ooh, I highly recommend the original series and the Next Generation are my 2 favorites. Yeah, and I have a lot of Star Trek opinions, and like I'll get aggressive with it, but
you and I should just have a side conversation.
I think Next Generation is, at least it's my favorite of all the Star Trek series. I think it has, because there's so much of it and it covers so many plots and there's so many interesting characters. So yeah, that's my recommendation.
There's something for everybody in Next Generation.
Yeah, because I like parts of DS9 and I like a lot of Voyager. I just haven't finished Voyager yet. But Next Generation is like, I could watch them over and over again. There's so many fascinating plots in that show. Yeah, no, agreeable. And I do. So I've watched all of the series, and I actually, my partner. Even Enterprise? Even Enterprise. Even Enterprise. I haven't Enterprise yet, but I'd like to at some point. So my partner calls it my annual pilgrimage that I make every year, because every year I watch every single episode of Star Trek from beginning. Is not trying to be weird and show my feet on camera, but I have a tattoo in Klingon. Yes! That I don't have. I don't yet have a Star Trek. I don't yet have a Star Trek tattoo, but I will have one coming up soon, because
On this arm, I've started my, if I can get it up here, I've started my literary sleeve.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So I have my 42 from Hitchhiker's Guide. And
Nice.
then this whole arm is going to be nothing but inspirations from stories that I feel like have made me over the years. So I'm going to have somewhere tattooed, "There are four lights."
There are four lights. Oh my God, that episode is insane.
It's my favorite, one of my favorites. So, but anyway,
so many new tattoos I need to get once I have money. Because that's the thing with tattoos, everyone out there who doesn't have tattoos, save up and spend money on them. Do not get cheap tattoos. They get infected.
Yes, that is true. They get infected. They fade.
I have not gotten a cheap tattoo. It's just stories I've heard from people. If someone's offering $30 tattoo night, you should run, because
I can't say anything because my partner and I, we have a tradition to where so here in Arizona, a lot of the tattoo parlors here do Friday the 13th tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can get a tattoo for $13.
Yeah.
With a mandatory $7 tip.
Okay,
so it's really a $20. It's really a $20 tattoo, and it's a flash tattoo. You have to pick a specific tattoo off of usually a dozen or 2 dozen.
I guess if it's like one that they have like a preset for, and it's small enough, they could probably do it for that little. But like, if you're gonna get a larger tattoo or something custom, and they're not charging you decent money, they're not it's worth it, I think, if you're going to get something drilled into your body to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Make sure that it's done right so you don't get skin infections. But the Friday the 13th thing does sound kind of fun. Yeah,
my tattoos, I have a thigh that's dedicated to my Friday the 13th tattoos.
Oh, that's so fun.
So it's one thigh. I'm going to have a custom piece put on it that is like this, that's a giant tree of life. And then all of the branches and leaves and stuff will loop through the various tattoos because I've made them all nature oriented. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to loop through and connect all of them to the tree. So at some point I'll do that. I just don't have enough of them yet to justify getting that bigger tree piece yet. So
I'm waiting until I have more disposable income, but I really, for 5 or 6 years, I've been planning to get a tattoo along my spine because I have terrible scoliosis. So my spine is completely curved in an S shape. I have 2 curves. So I want to get an anatomically correct spine tattooed along my spine in the shape of it to show it.
I wish my sister would do something like that. She has scoliosis as well, and it's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
And
I want to do that. I got quotes. It would cost about $600, so I don't have that much money to spend on that yet. And it would be incredibly painful to get, because when it's on the bone, as you know, that it hurts so bad. So that's something I'm preparing for. But that's my goal for my big one. So I don't have anything on my back because I'm saving it for that in the future.
So I just have one that's on my back, and it's a memorial tattoo to my cousin. She passed away in 2009.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So yeah, we used to have this thing about pickles, and we would sit down and eat pickles all the time when we were kids.
I love it.
So when she passed away, I had what looks like an old canning jar lid. That says "World's Sweetest Pickle" and then has copyright the year of her birth.
That's so sweet. Oh my God.
So that was my dedication to her. And then it has her name, of course. It has her nickname that I called her, which was Am-Sam. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm just checking Facebook, seeing if there were any more comments that had come across on Facebook. But it looks like Carrie was saying that when their husband and they first started dating, they went to Comic-Con in Ohio, and William Shatner was there. He charges $150 for autographs. Yikes. That is true.
So William Shatner was at the Comic-Con in Chicago that I was at this year, where I was selling I had a table there to sell Forever Home Friends toys and books and that kind of thing. And it was fun. It was one of the best experiences, but it was also right around the time that coronavirus first started coming to Chicago. And it might have been a mistake to be there, but I didn't know that was going to be a thing yet. So when I was there, it was really fun, but I knew William Shatner was there, and I was like, should I go meet him? But I'm also like, I'm here to make money this weekend and not to spend money. So I should probably just stay at my table and sell things, and then stop by a few other small artist tables and support them. Like, yeah. I support William Shatner by watching Star Trek already.
So I did that as well. Phoenix used to have a Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. It was not a legit one though, so they had to get rid of the name a couple of years ago and call it something else. But I've had a table there over the last like 5-6 years.
That's awesome.
And I mainly gone to make money for myself and then to support other local artists and authors, creators, small business owners. Yeah. And we had George Takei and Nichelle Nichols this last year. And I wanted to see both of them so badly, but I didn't have a chance to because it was so much money just to get the photo op. And then if I didn't do the photo op, then there was, of course, doing the autograph. But again, it was so much money to do the autograph. And I was like, I'm here to make money this weekend.
Right, exactly. So I can spend money on this. I'll buy a couple like $10 pieces of art or books from other authors that they sign here, like at someone else's booth. I can't spend money to meet celebrities.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it a few times here and there in the past, but usually with somebody that was way better price. Kind of a thing. I'd be like, okay, I can spend $35 for an autograph and not feel horrible. But if I'm spending $50 or more for an autograph, that's just terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't end up seeing them, even though I really wanted to.
Yeah.
But I did end up buying books from fellow authors and I bought books from fellow artists, or not books, but crafts from fellow artists. And I did like a book exchange with a few other fellow authors, stuff like that. So
yeah, that was the most fun part, was like getting to meet other authors. I'm hoping to do more. Like, I want to do conventions all the time, but like this year, obviously everything got canceled. Hopefully next year in 2021, like I had a table for BookCon. I was so excited to sell it. Like, this was going to be my first time selling at BookCon, and I was so excited, especially because like, my new novel just came out today. So I'm like, this is great. I'll have 7 books to sell at BookCon. I'll have 3 novels and 4 picture books. I'll have some plushies. Like, I'm going to deck this table out. I was so ready. And then obviously, no, there's no BookCon.
Yeah, I was prepared early for our version of Comic-Con this year, and I was super excited. And then, of course, there's the Tucson Festival of Books, and I was like, yay, I'm going to, do all this stuff. And then, of course, nothing.
There's this one literary festival in Chicago that I sell at every year, and the fee to have a table there is not that bad compared to how big the festival is. So I always make decent money there, and I love it. Thankfully, that one got postponed and is now going to take place in September. Hopefully, it won't have to get postponed again in September, because we still know nothing about what's happening in the world. But at least hopefully I'll still get to sell at that one in a couple months. We'll see.
Yeah. Alley Cat, no, you shouldn't have to pay to get autographs, because usually you're buying the photo, or you're buying the book, or you're buying whatever. And if it was from somebody like Savvy or myself or any of us here on AuthorTube, you wouldn't have to pay to get an autograph. But big name TV movie stars, they do it all the time. So do musicians. They do it all the time, where you buy the picture. Mm-hmm. And the picture is $50, $75, $100, whatever, and they'll sign it to you. They'll personalize it to you. So that's why they were confused when I got a book signing for this book called Michael Vey. I didn't have to pay. I even got a free picture and poster.
That's awesome.
Which I do too. When somebody buys if somebody buys 2 of my books, so if they buy the first and second book in my paranormal mystery series, then they usually end up getting like a free one of my short story anthology collections. I usually give something away for free.
If somebody buys a signed book from me from my website, I usually include a couple bookmarks, and I usually include like a a little note saying, "Thanks for buying a book. I hope you like it."
Yeah. Yeah.
If you order it on Amazon, obviously you don't get that, but you still get the book.
Yeah. And if you got the hookup like I do and other people do, we could just send it to Miss Savvy and have her sign it for us at some point, kind of a thing. So, all right. So I'm pretty sure I missed some people's comments, but I personally can't figure out which ones I missed now. So I apologize for that because, like I said, I'm going back and forth between Facebook and between YouTube and all the comments there. So, but I think it's time that we probably, in my traditional bad segue, my traditional bad segue that I usually have, I think it's probably time that we do another sprint because we've done a lot of chatting. So
Yay.
We'll do something else that is
photos.
Fairly rainbowy.
That's pretty.
For another 15 minutes and see how much more stuff we can get done.
Yay!
And 3, 2, 1, sprint! All right. So that is our 15-minute sprint for our second sprint.
Yay!
Yay! So I just have to pop this one up. Hold on. My computer is doing something weird again. There we go. All right. Well, it wasn't quite as poltergeisty as last time, which is nice. It's got to be something to do with having Facebook going on at the same time, I think, because I've got YouTube going, I've got StreamYard going, I've got Facebook going, and I have my document open, and so it's probably something to do with that. I like CO, giving me a little reprieve here, saying that weirdos should be bad at segues. Just saying, she said. So appreciate that. It's not bad at segues; it's unorthodox transitions. Key says. I am definitely good at unorthodox transitions then between scenes. So a couple people popped in. Hey, Heather, good to see you. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. Looks like Allie Unicorn Fan ended up doing some shopping online, which is good. Hopefully, maybe that included Ms. Savvy's new book. Maybe. That would be so good. Let's see. Heather doing the like button said, "What's up?" Nice. I like it.
I went outside and took some photos. I'm going to link you to one of them right now that I just put on Instagram. I think it's real cute.
Oh, awesome. I want to see it. Yeah, we kind of could see you in frame of getting a picture of what looked like Chewy, I think, with
I was
whatever's on your wall.
Okay, because behind me on the wall, it's hard to see in this lighting, but there's a picture. It's a portrait of Chewy dressed up as like a old-timey fancy man.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat as well so everybody can see it. But dressed up as like an old-timey guy? I like it.
Yeah, it's like, let's see if I can find the picture somewhere. There's one on Chewy's Instagram of it, but Tyler got me as a Christmas gift, like a portrait that someone on Etsy painted. They would do like custom dog portraits where they'd make your dog look like a nobleman or something.
Aww.
So I took a picture of the plushie with it.
Yeah. So Carrie is saying that the rain that you got in Chicago is now in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's not rainy. Last night it was insane, the thunderstorm, but right now it's sunny and beautiful.
That's good. That's good. So you were able then to be able to go out and get your pictures, and that is such a cute picture of Daisy. I like it.
Thank you.
So also, what did everybody else do during the 15-minute break? We know that Savvy was able to get some more pictures done, which was kind of cool. I ended up doing a little over 400 words, 413 words on the third book in the Metaphysical Chronicles series. So, because that's what I've been working on. And I want to give a hey and hi to my friend Preston Brewer, who's over on Facebook and is watching us on Facebook. There's not really a way for me to pop up his comments, so. But I figured I'd at least say hi. I feel like we need another rainbow timer, like a different rainbow timer for the next sprint. So while people are letting us know what they did during our last sprint, I'm going to try and find one. So Savvy, you said the book that came out today is your 7th book. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about the books that you've had come out so far?
Sure. So the first book I released was the one I mentioned that I put out into the world with no knowledge of the indie books world whatsoever. That one was called Beauty King. I put it out when I was just out of college, and it's like a young adult comedy about a small town with a beauty pageant, and there's a boy who decides he wants to be the first male beauty queen in the pageant because it'll make him stand out on college applications. Meanwhile, one of his friends is, she's a hardcore feminist and is secretly planning to tear the whole pageant down because of her mom's pressure to win the pageant, because her mom was a beauty queen back in the 80s. So the two of them end up in a crazy war filled with shenanigans and hijinks. It's got like a 80s teen movie kind of vibe to it. So that's the first book I put out. Then I put out two Forever Home Friends books. In 2017 I put out Princess Allie and Smile Chewy. So for people who don't know me, my main thing that I do is I run a small business called Forever Home Friends, which is I make children's books and stuffed animals and other toys and merch based on real rescue dogs and their stories of getting adopted. So I have 4 books in that series right now and 4 plushies that go with them. And I'm currently working on the 5th book. And so my mom and I work on the business together. I write all the books and she designs the plushies, and then we get the plushies produced and we get the books printed. And then I take it to festivals and I team up with animal shelters and donate money to animal shelters from the business and that kind of thing. So that's my main thing that I'm hoping to make a full-time job if I can, continue to expand it. So that's the big thing I do. So I've written 4 books in that series. Each one based on a different dog's story of getting adopted. One's based on my dog Chewy and his story. And then my other 2 novels, at the end of 2018, I released Sculpt Yourself, which is a new adult LGBT novel, which is, it's about a new drug that lets people shift their body proportions. So you can decide you want to have, if you are like, I'm overweight, but I want it to all be just me having a really thick ass, then you can just give yourself a thick ass and whatever you want, So everyone has the opportunity to choose their own body proportions. And it's not really, it has that sci-fi element, but it's not really about that. It's told from 3 different women's perspectives about how it affects their lives and their relationships with one another. So it's kind of the tone and style of a contemporary new adult novel, but with that one like sci-fi element introduced. So it really deals with a lot of discussion of body image and those type of things. And then my newest novel came out today, One Final Vinyl, which is a young adult contemporary. It is the story of an 18-year-old girl the night before she leaves for college. A 90-year-old woman that she's never met before shows up at her door, and she's gotten lost on the way after leaving her retirement home in the middle of the night. And so the teenage girl goes to drive her back to her retirement home, which turns out to be really far away. So they end up on a road trip together, and over the course of the night become best friends. It's kind of like a friendship story.
It still sounds really cool. I know I'm looking forward to reading it. I picked up the ebook today, mainly because I'm too impatient to wait for the print copy, which I had ordered this morning, because it's going to take forever in the mail to get here. So
the mail's really slow, and I do want to apologize. I know that some people had pre-ordered print copies, so I do want to apologize for you not having them yet. So anybody, and I'm going to send out an email about this to people, because I sent out an email yesterday afternoon, and then a few people pre-ordered yesterday at night, and so I haven't sent out another email yet. I'm going to send out another one. If you pre-ordered a signed paperback, I apologize that you don't have it today. You will have it, but if the fact that it's taking really long and that the mail is really slow is a problem and you want to read it sooner, just let me know, and you don't have to pay for the ebook. I will send you a PDF of it. I will send you a book now so that you can read it. You already paid for it, so I will send that to you. Just let me know if you want to do that option, because I hate to keep people waiting because of the slowness of the mail right now.
Yeah. Which is really nice of you. It's really generous of you to think about that and to compensate your readers accordingly with a PDF if they're not wanting to wait on the current circumstances too.
Yeah, and if people want to read my work, like, I'm grateful for that. I want to make sure that I am doing what I can for you, because I want you to have a good experience with it. I don't want people to feel like they had to wait too long.
Yeah. No, understandable. So it looks like Carrie did a little brainstorming during our sprint and filmed another segment of the vlog that'll go up on Wednesday. Also, awesome. They had a good husband that went to get dinner, so lovely. That's a good thing.
I figure out what I'm going to eat tonight. Hopefully something good, not just cake all day. I ate enough cake this morning.
Not just cake all day? Oh, come on.
I probably should eat something that has real nutrients in it and not just cake, but I will be eating more cake tonight.
I need to eat something that has some nutrients in it. I'm on like my 4th chai
Yeah,
latte
I've
of
had
the
a ton
day.
of coffee and I have had a ton of cake, and I've had no actual meals outside of cake today.
I had some chicken noodle soup right before your stream earlier today, right before the launch party. Because I thought, okay, I'm going to be on this for a couple of hours, and then there's just going to be a short break between that and my stream, so I should probably eat something real quick because I know I'm going to be busy during that break. And so I ate the chicken noodle soup, but let me tell you, the chicken noodle soup's not holding me over. It's not doing anything good. So, all right, Alley Cat 107 got 340 words done during that sprint, which is pretty dang good, I think.
Nice job.
CO Savvy is saying that Chewy and old timey clothing might be the new dogs playing poker.
So cute, I love it.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Trying to see if there are any things that I missed. I'm sure that there are on Facebook, if there's anything there. So my friend Preston was saying that during when we were talking about tattoos, that he gave his whole right arm, wrist to shoulder, to his artist friend and told him he could do what he wants, but that Preston had to be able to show it to his mom. That was the only requirement.
Let me check. I think I got a call. I think that might have been my grandma. I'm not sure. It didn't show up as grandma on the caller ID like it normally would. It just showed up as a number. So I'm not sure if she got a new one, but it's from her town. So I might have to go and call, because my grandma watched my live stream. My mom texted me after the live stream was over, and she's like, Savvy, your grandma watched the whole live stream. And I was like, what? And then I was like, I need to call my grandma later, but it looks like she called. And let me see if that was her. 1 second. Continue. Everyone carry on.
Well, that's okay. So we'll probably just end up going to another 15-minute sprint. So that is actually a really good segue. That gives you time to complete the call or check the call and everything, and it gets us back into another sprint because we are getting down to the last about 25-ish minutes left in my stream anyway. So we'll go ahead and do another sprint, and that should give us all plenty of time to do the things that we need to do.
Awesome.
So let me get this brought up, and we're going to have something kind of sparkly, rainbowy tech looking. I don't know. So I thought it looked nifty, and it sticks with our happy rainbow theme today. So, all right. So in 3, 2, 1, sprint.
Yay!
Okay. That is the end of our last 15-minute sprint. So how did everybody do?
I called my grandma, and I talked to my grandma for 15 minutes, and it was wonderful.
That's nice.
Yeah, so, she had watched my stream and wanted to talk to me about it. So that was great. I was so happy that she watched it.
Yeah. So did she find us as amusing as your mom did?
Yes. My grandma went on for a little while about how she thought everyone on the stream was so nice, and she just was so amazed that there are so many writers on the internet who are so supportive of each other. And she thought it was like the sweetest thing. So she loved it.
Yeah, I don't know. That surprises a lot of people. That
she was like, you guys are all so supportive and nice to each other. I loved it. I was like, yeah. She's like, everyone was so sweet. So she loved all of you guys.
I mean, we try to be as supportive as possible. So
I think I love this community so much. So I was like, yes, the writer community online is fantastic. My grandma agrees.
Yeah, it is very, very supportive. Way more hands-on than even like some of my local community, like writing communities are. Just way more hands-on and supportive. So we had a few people that had to pop out during the break. Carrie A. Butler had to go feed the tiny human. So
understandable.
Yeah. And Alley Cat 107 had to go for a walk. Hey, when you need to stretch your legs and go for a walk, you just need to stretch your legs. I had to do some stretching on that last sprint. So I only got about 357 words done, but I was able to do a couple of marketing posts as well. So I'm not feeling too bad. CO liked my timer that I had picked out. Not my timer, just one that I had found. Definitely 80s sci-fi vibes. Since there's no sound, they were listening to The Weeknd's Blinding Lights.
Sounds nice.
Heather helped the hubby decide on dinner, which ended up being chili, and exercised with both of her guys.
Wonderful.
She also agreed that the timer definitely had an 80s vibe to it. And speaking of the 80s, I watched an episode of Reunited Apart, a YouTube show hosted by Josh Gad. I think we all know it by now. Just before she went on Savvy's stream the other day. And that reunited the cast of Back to the Future. So it was awesome as I was in high school when it came out. That is one of my favorite movies from growing up.
Can't tell, I've got the DeLorean tattoo here.
Mm-hmm. And
I've got the big Back to the Future poster behind me. So, yep.
Yeah, so big fan of Back to the Future, of all three movies. So my niece was, I get on her too about this to this day. There was a guy in her hometown that owned a DeLorean, and she ended up taking his grandson, or going with his grandson, to prom, and she had the option of going to prom in the DeLorean, which was just so fitting, and she didn't pick it.
No,
the grandkid, the grandson was like, we could take, Grandpa said we could take any car to prom that we want to take, because I guess he had a host of cars. And she ended up picking a really nice car. It was like a classic 1940s something Bentley. And it was a gorgeous car. But I was like, seriously, you had a chance to go to a high school prom in the DeLorean and you didn't take it.
I can't believe that.
she's like, I just didn't think about it. I wasn't thinking,
Oh no, dude. That's my dream, is to have a DeLorean at some point, and that'd be amazing.
Yeah. So Devin Cutting was saying that they wish that we could all travel to a different year right now. I have to agree. I wish we could speed some things up, or take things back to a different year and like change things, catch things, or know what's gonna happen. So, but yeah, didn't end up doing that. Wish if you figure out, Devin, how to master that space-time continuum so that we can get all timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, you let me know. All right, so I think that pretty much takes us just about down to the end of the show for today, the end of the stream for today. Listen to me calling it a show like I'm some big hotshot broadcaster. Yeah.
I like it. We have a show.
It's my show. One thing we should do at some point is you and I should definitely live stream talking about Star Trek.
Yes, that would be so fun.
Yeah, so we should do that sometime just for the hell of it, just because.
We should find some topics to debate. We could have like Star Trek arguments. Like we can see if we have different favorite captains or different opinions on movies or something, and then we can have debates about it or something. Because I feel like the Star Trek fandom has so many arguments in it, but that's part of what makes it fun because people are passionate about different things.
Very, very passionate about different things. It's like it's one thing that I've noticed is about that the difference, and there are so many differences between Star Trek and Star Wars fans, but the big difference that I've noticed is how passionate and technical Star Trek fans get versus Star Wars fans.
Like Star Trek fans will be like, they'll have an opinion, and then someone will be like, no, because in this episode number of this season, this happened, and then this happened, and then I'll pop in like, okay, but then in the novelization version of this episode, it was stated here that this happened, and then everybody has like opinions and evidence to back it up, and there will never be a resolution to anything because so much of what's canon contradicts itself because there's just so much of it. Then you can make the argument that like, well, there's so many alternate timelines in it that like really anything can be true that you want to be true at this point.
That's true. That's very, very true. And you're right. There's so much canon that, and a lot of it does contradict itself, that it's easy to, that it's easy to kind of be like, but no, and then this, and but no, and then this.
I've chosen to believe the things I like best. And if anything I don't like, I'm just like, nope, that didn't really happen.
Well, you're allowed to do that because it's utopian, and everybody's idea of a utopia is slightly different. So you can pick all the favorite.
I decided, like, out of all the movies, I'm like, these movies actually happened. These movies didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
And in fiction, none of it actually happened. So I can make that call.
True. Very, very true. Okay, so that pretty much is the end of the stream for this week. For me, I want to thank Savvy for coming on and co-hosting. And why don't you tell us a little bit more about what's so special about today and yourself?
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your stream today. When you reached out to me and you were like, how about after your launch, you come on my stream and we can talk more about it? I'm like, that is awesome. I love it. And I love being on your Friday stream, like the other week when Lisa was here with us too. Like the Friday stream is fun because it's like, it's Friday, it's time to write. So I love this stream. But today is special for me because it is my book launch day. My newest novel, One Final Vinyl, just released. It is available on Amazon, on ebook and in paperback, and also on my website to get the signed paperback. So that is where it's available. Maybe I'm considering like in the future if I want to release like a special edition hardcover, but that's still down the line, a thought process. So right now it's not in hardcover, just paperback and ebook. Maybe audiobook in the future. I don't know. But I had a launch party this morning. It was really, really fun. I'm so excited. What else was I supposed to tell you? Stuff about today?
Just more about you.
About me. Okay. I'm Savvy from the channel Savvy Writes Books. I am a small business owner who is the owner of the Forever Home Friends, which is a small business that produces children's books and stuffed animals based on real rescue dogs and their stories of getting adopted. And on top of that, I am a young adult author, and my newest young adult novel just came out today. On my YouTube channel, Savvy Writes Books, we talk about life as a writer, life as a small business owner, and we roast business scammers and pyramid schemers and business coaches who are trying to take advantage of creatives and small business owners and self-starters. So there's a lot of drama on my channel. There's a lot of complaining, but if you like that, then you'll enjoy Savvy Writes Books.
Awesome. We had one comment. CO Savvy definitely wants us to do the Trekkie live stream at some point.
I love it. Yeah.
So that's something we will have to do in the future. So we are getting ready, like I said, to sign off. So as you all know, I am BC, and this is my channel, BC Brown Books, where I host videos that help writers write better, publish easier, and market their books more efficiently, more effectively. And I host a live stream every Friday, as of you see right now, from 3:30 until 5:30 p.m. Eastern time zone. and where we just get together and we chat about anything that comes up. And we especially like to support our friends when they have books that come out. And I do as much as possible on streaming this on both YouTube and Facebook now. So that will be a new thing. That thank you all for being patient while I figured that out and had a few glitches going on today, but I will figure out how to master it, just like I eventually figured out how to master StreamYard. So I will get that down as well. So for those of you who don't know me, I am a writing weirdo. I like to get weird about words on a regular basis. And yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell, other than I do have some books that are published as well. I also have a merchandise store that you can go and you can get wonderful t-shirts, then mugs and things like that that say probably really obscene and inappropriate things that should not be taken to your workplace.
Yay!
But, you know, I am a weirdo, so that's what there is to it.
I love it.
Anyway, thanks so much for everybody that was here in the chat, both on Facebook and here on YouTube today. And I want everybody to keep being productive as much as they can and keep getting weird about words.
Yay!
Bye!
Happy Friday!